The Los Angeles County Museum of Art is the largest art museum in the Western United States.
With a very important and spectacular pre-Colombian ceramic collection that we needed to investigate.
And now we're going to do a big exhibition with these objects here at LACMA, but there's not that much known about ancient Colombia.
It's a challenge. We found the support to go to Colombia in a research trip, and we really didn't know that this was going to change our perspective on life and our perspective of our own mission at LACMA.
In the last episode, we really honed in on the design concept for the exhibition and catalogue. This idea of unlearning has been key, that you need to unlearn in order to be open to a different point of view. For us, that indigenous point of view, that indigenous voice was really key. Before we can finalise how to present them, we have to decide exactly what we're going to present, which pieces are we going to select for our checklist for the final exhibition. And that brings us back to the point very early on in this project, which is about vetting the authentic pieces from the fakes.
The to-do list.
The first step in really understanding these pieces is to look at them. So first you look at them with the naked eye, and then you look even more closely through a microscope. This is the piece for us that kind of made us think that we need to look at this more closely because...
What is it that the opponent feels damns the piece?
One of the things that makes any piece like this suspicious is just the sheer number of fakes. Mm-hmm. They're just so faked and so popular on the market. And so I think she is just always suspicious of any piece like this that she sees that's intact, right? That's in pretty good condition. I think that was all that made her suspicious, because she suggested it might be a modern fake.
One of the things that we look at in ancient objects as opposed to modern contemporary objects are wear patterns. There are all kinds of wear patterns that can be formed from handling, people's rings, how things fracture, how they don't fracture, how they scratch, and so on and so forth. This particular ceramic has a burnished surface, and these burnished surfaces, when they're young, are very sharp, and when they get very old, they get rather dull and worn.
So, can we look at this under the microscope real quick, just to see actually how this burnish sits on top of the surface?
Mm-hmm. So focus is here.
Perfect, okay, that'll do. Oh man.
See what I mean?
It's so much higher than what's next to it. The whole burnish strip is like a plateau, and next to it it's eroded away. So what we saw with naked eye too, that you have the compacted surface where it's burnished, and next to it is worn away. There's no way to fake that because it's microscopic. One of the key milestones for making the exhibition happen is to finalize your checklist, because that's what the design will be based on, that's what all the labels will be based on, that's kind of your fundamental core from which the exhibition is built.
What do you think about the appearance of this? Look, it's like someone tried to put dirt to make it look old. Do you see how attached this dirt is to the surface?
Okay. Well,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Look at
all that. Yeah.
This is really attached with some adhesive. You take some dirt.
It's brushed on.
It's brushed on, exactly.
And look at the brush strokes. You can literally see this is unfortunately probably not.
No, this doesn't make it.
A next step that you could do is to take Xrays, and that shows you a lot about whether the pieces are intact, whether there are repairs. It's so...
You got it?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you see how the cracks are underneath the figures? So the figures are put on top of some of the broken areas. It doesn't make sense. No, I think the piece is, it's made of a real piece, but the ladies on top are strange, or are so heavily reconstructed. Whatever's there has been completely repaired, But you see that on the surface, you see nothing. So whoever did this, was so good at hiding those cracks.
The forgers want the art market to believe that it's a perfectly pristine ancient piece that is worth so much money. That is their goal. Instead of really letting anybody who sees it, okay, this was fragmented, put together, these pieces are all original, these others are not and are sustaining it. So you can see the reality, not the real, the reality of the piece. They want to sell a fantasy. Yes, I can see it right here. Can you see it? Right here.
We X-rayed this guy, and it's super interesting because basically on the X-ray, it's cut like a straight line right across here. So across the sort of shoulders and under his head.
I can see.
I was talking to John about it. I looked at it with John, and he realized that it's exactly half the height. The cut, it's not that they took the head off. The cut is at exactly half the height of the total figure.
Of the total figure.
So what we thought was that basically you cut it in half and you can take the top part, put it next to this part, and it fits in a suitcase or a briefcase. Do you see what I mean?
I see what you mean. So it was really caught to being able to smuggle it?
I think so. But that makes me think that probably it's real, because that's a lot of work that's a lot of effort, right? And then you smuggle the piece out of wherever you're trying to get it.
Yeah, and the wear.
Yeah, the rest of it looks good,
right?
The
rest of it looks perfect. No, this is a fabulous piece.
Well, regardless of whether it's authentic or fake, one of the realities too is that not everything that you see in collections and would love to have for the exhibition is necessarily available, or is necessarily okay to have in the exhibition. One of the places that we visited in Colombia was this private museum in Santa Marta.
You can only arrive there by boat. Many of those pieces, for me, were just unbelievably wonderful. We wanted them to be part of the exhibition. We really wanted them. The paperwork around these objects, it's to register them as property of the nation. They need to be registered. They need to be studied. They belong to the Colombian people, and they are stewarded by a particular museum. And that is what allows objects to travel and to come back. It's a public collection, but it doesn't have the required paperwork to travel.
Back at LACMA, and even getting close to installation, we continued our conversation between us and the Arhuacos.
Learning that the Arhuacos see these works as something that it's alive, a who and not a what. How do we, as a Western museum, how do we address them? How do we name them?
Y queríamos hablar de eso, ¿no? De que son los mensajeros, los conectores. Y si existe una manera en el idioma haiku, ¿no? En tu idioma, de llamarlos, y si esa manera de llamarlos la podríamos adaptar como una forma de no decir objetos, porque objetos para todos nosotros, pues es la taza, ¿no? Se refiere a demasiadas cosas muy concretas, materiales, simplemente que no tienen un rol específico, ¿no?
Pongamos el ejemplo que nosotros nacemos en este mundo, pero para tener permiso para estar en este mundo, no importa la actividad que vaya a desarrollar, siempre se representa en un objeto. A través que va recibiendo el conocimiento, le van dando los diferentes objetos hasta que se vuelve el sabio.
Ok.
El día que muere el cuerpo físico, pero el conocimiento, todo lo que adquirió no muere, sino queda allí.
Wow, eso es
Guardado.
súper importante, porque en realidad siempre se han interpretado los entierros con las tumbas como si digamos, el cacique, el gobernante, fuese muy rico y tenía muchísimas cosas con las que se enterró, ¿no? No como acumulación de conocimiento.
Entonces lo que adquiere termina es como que en valor del conocimiento, más no valores económico que tuvo mucho, no, sino en valor de conocimiento. Entre más objetos tenga, más conocimiento tuvo.
Perfecto. Ay, entendí muy bien. Es complejo y por lo tanto no puede existir una sola palabra, ¿no?
Exactamente.
It's important not that we call them something, that we just continue to explain them and describe them in the different ways, never letting one word or one definition attach precisely to, right?
I think so, because then it makes you think.
While we continue to learn about what these pieces represent in a sort of philosophical way, we still need to deal with the practicality of finalizing our checklist.
It would be very important to know if this piece can be part of the exhibition, because a figure like that, seated in the banquito, chewing coca, it's an important piece for the exhibition. So we decided to choose some specific pieces that we were suspicious of, to do a technique to being able to date ceramics. It's called thermoluminescence. With thermoluminescence, when it works, it can give you when it was fired.
This is luminescence at Oxford University. So, first one.
Famous last words.
Okay, our coquero.
He's good.
He is good. Oh my God, and it's really right on the presumption too.
It's
Oh my God,
spot on.
it's so good.
I knew it. No, that's fantastic.
Okay. And
I know.
number two.
You've
No,
always-
that's huge. That's huge.
So such an important piece.
This is huge.
The changuito, it's also good.
Same thing.
Oh my God, I know, and it's between 850 and 1300, so it's
almost a little older.
no, it's just like this one.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, this is surprising. But
That it's so old?
no, that it's authentic.
I always thought it was authentic.
That's the one we already have. And so we'll take that out again so you can see the date ranges. Here is its actual.
The outcome is it's very close to the
spot on.
presumption. It's between 800 and 1300 years.
Dead smack on.
Yeah, we're really happy that we finalized our checklist until it will get changed again. Yeah, it's getting close. The first shipments of loans are about to arrive, and the constructions and installations teams are about to start working in the galleries to put all of this together. So we'll see very soon how it's shaping up and if it will work.
A lot of plate spinning, but